drunk most of the time. I sealed shut, 4 throats been cut and bleeding from the eyes. You're coming around this stable ground when you need something safe. But now this place of stone and steel has up and blown away. Crazy is as sane will do in your camouflage. But biding time with cheap box wine won't change your entourage. Never frown on a devil's town where nothing will begin. From your pipe dreams comes a bleeder, drained of all his sin. Rest your head, for the ghosts are gone, and you're left with your skeletons. This cold dark night will seal up tight until you're well again. But don't come crawling back someday with your tail between your This bleeder may be drunk again, but he can sniff out all your ways.
My name's Chris Clark. I play in a band called Blue Oyster Culture Club. I think my whole love of music, it goes back as far as I can remember, really. I remember being like a little kid, some of my earliest memories, thinking it was weird that my friends would watch like the Sesame Street shit and were into the cartoons and all that, and I was really into watching MTV. So I just always had this, I was obsessed with it and just infatuated with music. And I have an older sister that introduced me to Led Zeppelin, and from that point on, it was pretty much done. I saw Song Remains the Same and listened to Houses of the Holy and all those records and was just like, I have to do this. I have got to do this. So it all started there. From there on, I played in a ton of, local bands here in St. Joe. Me and a couple buddies started the golf club and did that for a while. Played in a band that was based out of Kansas City that toured around a bunch and played with a lot of cool people and met a lot of cool people. Toured all over the world and all that. Nowadays, I just do Blue Oyster Culture Club, just kind of something fun to do, and we have a good time. People seem to enjoy it. Admittedly, I don't get to do much original music stuff anymore. I do a small project with a friend, but I don't get to do it as much anymore as I would like. But doing the BOCC things just for fun. We have a good time. As far as the scene in St. Joe, I think the first show I ever played was at some bar here downtown that isn't even around anymore. And like, there just was not places to play. If you weren't playing Garth Brooks songs, nobody wanted it. It didn't matter. And there was no place to play. And even growing up like through high school and all that, occasionally we do letter carriers rental hall shows, because that was the only place you could do. You had to rent the hall, you had to get the PA, you had to do everything, you had to clean up at the end of the night. It was everything, and that was the only way we could play shows, was just by playing rental hall shows. It's crazy to look at St. Joe now from thinking how it was back then, like with Cafe, with Magoons, with Jimmy at the Voo, with Hammerjacks. I mean, there's so many places you can go that you can play, like you say, every night of the week. All you gotta do is get out of your house. If you want to go listen to live music, take your pick. There's 8 different places or 10 different places, and each place has a different style of music. You might not like this band, but you might like this band. Or it's crazy how it really seems to be gaining momentum and really speeding up, which is great. A lot of people, just think, oh, this podunk town, nothing ever happens. You can't do anything. It's just lame, blah, blah, blah. Like, actually, there's a lot out there. You just have to go. Personally, I've been watching these one-on-ones since you guys started this thing, which I think Tuning Fork is fucking awesome. I think it's so great you guys are doing this. Right when I first heard about this and you started putting these one-on-ones up, I was watching them. Every time you upload a new one, I watch it immediately. Like, I think this is awesome. Something that personally I thought was cool. A lot of people have mentioned the golf club, which I was a part of, and me and 2 other friends started it and ran it for about a year and a half. And it's cool to hear people talk about it, in a favorable way, and saying, oh, I love that place. We had fun there. It was all that. Because when we were running it, we didn't really see a lot of the fun. It was like, holy shit, how are we going to pay for lights? We had a lot of fun doing it. But it's nice. It's really cool to hear these people that have done these one-on-ones talk about how they enjoyed it and how they had fun and all that, it was cool to hear, like, oh man, people still remember that place. That's neat. But personally, that was one thing from watching this that has really kind of hit me like, nice. St. Joe can keep it going, I think. The thing about music for me is when I was growing up and I heard Led Zeppelin, was watching MTV, and it's like, I had to do it. The more I got into it, the more I loved it. And being able to play on stage in front of people and getting that feedback back from them, seeing people enjoy having fun, dancing around, doing whatever, I get off on it. I think that's great. It's that moment when you're playing and seeing people singing along, whether it's a cover song or one of your own songs or whatever. It's that point that it's kind of like when you play golf. If you play and you have a terrible day, but you hit one really good shot, you're going to go back and play the next day because of that one good shot. So that's kind of what it is with me, is that one moment when I look and somebody's really getting into it and I can tell somebody's really enjoying it. It's like, I'm having a blast. These people are having fun. Why would anybody not want to do this? I mean, it just seems to just make sense. I've been lucky enough to do a lot of cool stuff. I lived in a van with 4 other dudes and toured all over the place for 3.5 years, and I've met some of my heroes doing that and played with some of my heroes doing that. And it's just those experiences, and at the end of the day, it always just comes back to just playing on stage, having fun, and making sure the people out there are having fun. This has been One on One with Chris Clark, and you're watching Tuning Fork TV.